Hi, and welcome to the BL Week in Review. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, BL Songbird, and before we even get started, I want to remind everybody to don't forget to like this show, subscribe to various channels, mine and the BL Express. Although if you're just showing up at the beginning of the show, you probably already have. But if you happen to be seeing this later, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. We love comments. I noticed that I don't necessarily get those comments though personally, unless you tag me. My YouTube handle is in the description for this live stream. So if you tag my handle, I'll be able to see your comment and be able to respond to it. So yeah, welcome. Hello, Asul, Yuritsa. Good to see you guys right from the beginning. Here we are. Just a quick reminder, uh, everybody is welcome to the chat. This is a safe space for you to express your feelings about things without judgment. So join the top chat. Everybody has a lot of fun. Top chat. I don't know why it's called top chat. That's something that all messages are visible. You know what? Let's do the live chat. Okay. I didn't realize there were multiple ways to do this. I don't think we have enough people who participate yet to like worry about just the top chat showing. I think everybody's comments are worth looking at. Anyways, okay, so yeah, there it is interactive. I will be asking the audience questions at some point, and you guys are welcome to give your answers or just watch quietly. It's up to you. But I don't know. I love it when people get brave. So today we're going to be reviewing all the shows that started this last week, all the shows that are coming up this next week, and then all the shows that ended. And we're going to end with Shine, this series. That'll be the spoiler section. It is coming, so if you're just here for Shine, it's at the end. And I think we're going to have probably a lot to say because that series has a lot to unpack. So, without further ado, we're going to get into it because there's a lot. I have well, I don't have pages and pages. And honestly, I don't know if you guys can see, but my handwriting is really, really large, so it's easy to read with you guys. So, it's not really pages and pages, but it felt like it today when I was writing. I'm like, dang, there's a lot going on. So let's get into it. Let's go to the weekend review, shall we? Okay, so new series that have started. And I'm just going to be listing these off. Feel free to make generalized comments if you would like. No spoilers until the end of this show, if you guys don't mind. But the first new show, I mentioned it last week because it started last Tuesday or Monday, depending on if you're watching it live or not. But 131 has Love in the Moonlight, which is a series from Thailand, airing on Mondays and Tuesdays. It's available on YouTube on Mondays and Tuesdays. Unfortunately, 131 has a significant delay in subtitles. So if you're comfortable watching a show in Thai without subtitles, it's available Mondays and Tuesdays. If you need those subtitles, it's available on Gaga Ooh La La on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So 2 episodes a week. And yeah, I finally got to watch it, and I think it's going to be one of those shows that'd be fun to watch in real time. I think it is melodramatic and is a licorne, Thai BL licorne. Got to add the licorne to it. And for those who are unfamiliar with Thai series, Lakorn more or less means soap opera. That's the pretty general consensus on what Lakorn means. So it's some of it's over dramatized, some of it's kind of got extreme plot scenarios. You're like, oh gosh, really? But at the same time, they're super fun, and it is fun to talk about and have the camaraderie of talking about it with others on social media while it's airing. I and KT says I watched the first two episodes and really enjoyed them, and then DeLorean waited until Wednesday to watch them back to back, and liked it more than they thought they would. And then okay, Yuritsa has parents keeping them on their toes, so they haven't had a chance to watch more than part of an episode. That makes sense. It happens, right? Still, I'm sure it'll be fun to binge later too, but I do think it'll be one of those shows that'll have some fun commentary and maybe a support system because I can't imagine not crying for that series. So that is Love in the Moonlight. For those who may not have a subscription to Gaga Ooh La La, but like supporting like legal views, YouTube generally does get subtitles eventually. I remember watching another series on there, and it took a while to start with Love. It took a while. It was like I remember it being like a 2 week delay on subtitles, but they did eventually pop up. Okay. The next series that started last week, it'll be airing on Thursdays. Well, it was only 2 episodes. It's a mini series, but from what I understand, there are 4 stories. And so I'm assuming when this mini series ends, another will begin. But the story is titled The Last Night. Again, uh, Thailand, and it is pure BL as far as I'm aware. If you want the explicit, intimate scenes, you will have to set a VPN to Thailand and go to VIU, Thailand, to watch it. It is cut on YouTube. So if that's not important to you and you just want to enjoy the story, and maybe you actually don't even want that part, it is cut on YouTube. So yeah, that's The Last Night. And then also on Thursdays, is a series from Hong Kong. It's a very short series. They're calling it like probably short movie length when it's done. It's called Boy, Do You Still Love Me? And that is also on YouTube. So that's another one. And then on Friday, guys, I get all smiley and excited because honestly, the series of that summer, GMMTV Thailand, which is the one of the not you may not know, GMMTV is one of the largest production houses in Thailand, for BL, and GMM Grammy, which GMMTV is under, is I believe the largest production company in Thailand. That summer is their newest series. It started on Friday, and if you guys like Hallmark and those stories where Prince ends up with amnesia in a random location, then this is the story for you. Um, Also, for those who follow those kinds of things, it's starring 2 actors. One is named Winnie and one is named Satang. I would have more than that, but most of us just call them Winnie and Satang. We don't really go with like the full Thai names. We just go by nicknames. And they have this is their first main lead in a show, and a lot of people are really excited about that as well. So that's summer Hallmark vibes. It might be a little more explicit than a Hallmark show. I don't know. We'll get into it, but it's bound to be fun. Um, Another story that started on Friday that I'm not watching is called A Never Ending Story, not to be confused with the United States dragon story. by the same title. This is one of those Korean short form YouTube series, and that's airing on Fridays. All right, there's still more, guys. We're not done. Now you guys get what I mean. I'm like, we'll get to Shine eventually, but man, oh man, there's a lot of stuff going down in the meantime. Let's see what the chat has to say about that summer. Let's see here. We have going back to the last night. I thought we were getting a different take from them, and it's more of the same. That's fair. Um, DeLorean, I didn't get a chance to watch it, so I'm unaware of how it was, but that's good to know. I also thought we were getting something different, so I enjoyed the first episode of that summer. Yeah, right? That summer started well. You can see that both of them are essentially privileged rich kids who will learn a lot through the experience. Yep. Enjoyed the first episode of that summer. The show after the last night is a show called Boy, Do You Still Love Me? Also, you're on it. Okay, I didn't need to say that. That summer has a fascinating premise. I agree. Okay, so I'm going to throw this out here. Who also has questions about the honesty of the prince? And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think that's significant enough to like be a spoiler. But if you have questions about the honesty of the prince, uh, just say yes in the comments. Okay, that summer, never ending story. Okay, really loved that summer. They've done well as supporting cast, and I'm excited to see what they do as leads. Yes, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what they do as leads as well. Okay, onwards. The next series is an aside, and also thank you for pointing it out to me. I didn't realize it had happened until I got on YouTube later. Um, if I had got on YouTube, it had popped up, and I saw your message first in the Discord server, and that is that Secret Ghost, which is a Thai series that aired earlier this year with no international release, is now available in its entirety with English subtitles on YouTube. They dropped it this week. It is a legal drop, not an illegal upload. So feel free to enjoy that. Yeah, series called Secret Ghost. I was excited to watch it actually. So I'm glad that it's available now, and I'm hoping I will find that information that at some point. Okay, the time that is. Chas, I wasn't yet doubting the prince. I did wonder where his companion went. Yeah, that too. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, the next series aired on is airing on Sundays, and it started on Sunday, and that is this series titled Takumi-kun. It's from Japan. It's spelled with an I, so Takumi, and Kun, Takumi Kun. It's airing on Gaga Ulalas on Sundays. It is, from what I understand, 6 episodes, which um, isn't enough time for what they've introduced in episode 1, in my opinion. I also think that that is a show that you have to have insider knowledge of the rest of it. There are movies, there are novels, there are all sorts of things. I feel like it's for those who are already fans and not for those who are new fans. Eureka, a lot happened this week. That is, there's so many shows that we're not even done with the ones that started. So no worries, right? Like the flood is officially upon us. People are realizing the power of the genre, and I think we're just going to be facing this from now on. It's just a lot. Okay, so on Sunday again, the My Stubborn special episode aired. The first one. There will be a second one this Sunday. So if you enjoyed what that series had to offer, the special episode has even more of the same. So um, those boys' chemistry is really fantastic, obviously. And watch it with headphones on, or maybe you live alone and that's okay. But if you don't, you might put it on a tablet. For real, no, seriously, like put that on a tablet with headphones. But I will have to say about that show is bravo for being little bit more realistic about all of it. And I'm going to leave it at that. You guys can use your imagination to go wherever you want with that. I read, Chaz says about Takumi-kun, I read somewhere that you have to at least have watched the movie that preceded this series. I read that somewhere too, Chaz. So yes. And Valerie, I just finished Shine 20 minutes ago. Okay, well, you finished it. We'll all give you virtual hugs for that one. It. I watched DeLorean. You watched it too, and you also felt like it was already in progress. Okay, I wasn't the only one who felt that. It was significant enough that I was just like, well, I'm going to skip this one. Yeah, exactly, Katie. I feel like since I didn't watch the movie, I really don't know that I can follow the series adequately. That one made me hide my face. I have way too much knowledge and felt seen. Oh. Okay, Yuritsa. I'm sure that that is referring to my stubborn, everybody. So yeah, just exactly the that face hiding, like, oh my goodness thing. Anyway, okay. Um all right, so then let's go on to what's coming because, we can't be done yet. There has to be more. Obviously, the flood is upon us. Friday, September 26th. I don't think I can say the title of this series without being flagged, to be honest, because it is quite a lot. But if you look up the series that is starting on Friday on Gaga Ulala from Japan, you'll have the right series. It is a series, it seems to be gang related. And so we're going to have some interesting moments. I'm sure if it's acted well, which Japan does seem to pick really good actors typically, there will be a lot of great tension in the show. And the title is very interesting. So, yeah, I can't say that title, guys. I hope you know what I'm talking about. On Saturday, September 27th, we have two new series dropping. The first one is The Wicked Game. The Wicked Game is from Thailand. Again, guys, Thailand just figured it out, I think. They realized, I mean, they call it a soft power now. So they realized, like, what they've got, right? So we've got The Wicked Game. Uh, for those who love Tao and Off Road, uh, you will rejoice because this is their new series. I can't believe it starts on Saturday. And we've got mafia stuff, and we've got a bodyguard scenario. So I think it is going to be great. So that will be airing on IGE on Saturday. I can't either, Chas. I'm like dumbly excited for that one. Yeah, just dumbly excited. The other one is, and I don't know. I keep looking and I keep not seeing it anywhere else. The other series that's starting on Saturday is titled Lover Merman. Exactly, guys, Lover Merman, and is exactly what it sounds like. It's about the forbidden love between a merman and a human, which those series tends to be about when it's romance related. And it is on Gaga Ulala, just not in the United States. So if you're in other parts of the world, congratulations. You get to watch it. Anyone here in the US will have to put a VPN on because I haven't seen it anywhere else. I've been looking on IG. I've been looking on Viki. I don't know. I guess I'll check YouTube the day it comes out. Or I'll just, turn on a VPN. But the fact that we have a series with mermen is very interesting to me. Oh, wait a second. Did I see? Okay, somebody may know in the comments. Um, if that was the one that also was behind a paywall on YouTube. Well, it had better have been in production forever, Katie. Like The Lover Merman, if it hadn't been in production forever, that would worry me for special effects and everything that would come from like a modern rendition of that kind of story. Yes, it does, Chas. The title of the Japanese series I mentioned does begin with the journey too. That's a good point. I could have put the beginning on it. Too much. But yes, the Wicked game is on the top of my list. I'll resort to my bootleg plays for the rest, then watch it legit when I can. That's fair. I feel like everybody right now has IGE because like all of the good stuff's on there. Like all of the Chemjira, like for example, Chemjira is on there. Revamp is on there. Yeah, all of the good stuff. Okay, so that is it. That's I finally made it through that part of the list. Yeah, okay. For the series that ended, not as many ended as began, guys. I'm sorry. We have The Heart of Tsukuyomi, Chinese, one of those Chinese BLs that's been airing. They've been filming in Japan on the Secret of Us YouTube channel. Um, is that one? I think that's that one. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I would be not super embarrassed if I'm wrong. Korean BL. Oh, snap. How did I forget that? I didn't see that on my okay. All right, all right. Sorry guys. I have to go back to new ones because yes, Austell and Valerie are right. I don't know how I didn't see My Secret Vampire on my own list as I was creating this list. But everybody has to watch that one. I don't even know what they've done, but My Secret Vampire is a Korean BL. It is airing again on ITE. If you're VIP, it's 2 episodes a week. If you're not VIP, you get 1 episode a week. And it is hilarious. I don't even know. I mean, I know we want dark broody things for vampires, but this is not that. It is absolutely just hysterical. I don't even know where they came up with some of that stuff, but I was laughing so hard. So yeah, My Secret Vampire. Okay, now on to the ones that ended. Oxen is coming out with a Merman one soon, announced around the same time, but no release date yet. Yeah, I saw that one. Oh, maybe that's the one behind the paywall. Maybe, DeLorean. I'm not sure. Yes, the quality of the shows on IGE lately has been amazing. Absolutely. My Secret Vampire was cute, right? Funny too, Katie. Everyone liked My Secret Vampire. There you go, guys. There's another plug. That's one to watch. My Secret Vampire. Korea, IGE. There you go. Okay, so we have The Heart of Tsukuyomi Chinese, YouTube. Only 3 episodes are available to the public. It is 7 episodes long. The rest are behind a paywall. The next one is 10 Things I Want to Do Before I Turn 40, which is from Japan. Okay, let me go through this. It's from Japan. It's on Gaga Ulala. It's 12 episodes long. And it is the most adorable show. I highly recommend. I think it's going to be super bingeable. There was some angst watching it week to week, but I think if you binged it straight through, the angst would feel less somehow. I don't think it would be quite the same. A Man Who Defies the World of BL season 3 airs next Monday. Also, yeah, I oddly enough, when I do this show, I'm following like just through Saturday. I don't go through next Monday. If you guys would like me to start going like Tuesday to Tuesday for this show, I will. I've just been following my BL Week in Review article, which is Saturday to Saturday. So if you guys want me to switch to Tuesday, let me know. But yes, A Man Who Defies the World of BL season 3 is starting next Monday. I love a fun show that makes me laugh. I will need to start that once I catch up with all the shows I'm behind on. I'm subscribed to that one, and I watched the whole thing almost a month ago. It was sad. Yeah, Eureka, I think for those who are part of the channel, it dropped all at once. So that makes sense. I kept waiting to see if they would release more episodes to the general public, but they don't seem to have. So that's why I put it on this week, because I'm like, okay, they're clearly just giving a teaser. You need to subscribe to watch that one. So sad that 10 Things is over. I'd watch 100 episode with those characters. The older man, Susumi is, oh gosh, I hope that's the right name, guys. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes I feel like I suck at that part. He is adorable, and that actor is 42, which made, I don't know, somehow that made it better to me. I was like, the actor's older than me for once, which isn't saying much since I'm only 39. But still, the actor is older than me though for once, and he's cute. He's just like really good at his job. It was just a really fun series. Yeah. So I know Gaga Ulala, not everybody is subscribed to that because it doesn't have the same level of series IGE does from Thailand. But it does have all of the BLs that are being released from Japan, at least here in the United States. So if you like Japanese BL, Gaga Ulala is the platform for you. Let me say Japanese live action BL, because the anime, I feel like most people subscribe to Crunchyroll for that. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't precisely follow the anime, but whenever I do, they say look to Crunchyroll for that. Oh, someone else enjoyed it, made it a little sad, but it was cute. Yeah, so there's about a 3 episode chunk, but I think if you were binging it, it wouldn't feel quite so significant. I still want to put him in my pocket. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, Gaga Ulala, your place for Japanese live action BL. Okay, we made it to the end, everybody. Um, Finally to shine. And from here on out, if you guys would like to put spoilers in, you may. Um, Just a quick aside before we hit spoilers, Shine is on the must-watch list for the year. I could see it winning international awards. It was really, really well done series. And it's unfortunate that I feel like, okay, so I feel like if they had put Shine on a platform like IGE, or I could see them not using YouTube because they spent a lot of money putting that series together. But if they put it on a platform like IGE, or maybe made a deal with Netflix, the amount of like engagement on X every week would have been much higher than it was, which was all pretty significant. Like the last episode did get over 1 million views, 1 million tweets on X, and like, but the episode before that only got 500,000. And I say only because we have My Magic Prophecy, who's breaking millions a week, and Revamp, that's in millions a week, and Kamjira, that's in millions a week, and Shine is at least on par with those series. And so like the fact that it didn't is telling, I think, at least in part, of the platform that it was available on for international viewers. So Shine is on WeTV. In the United States, WeTV is called Tencent, and it is 8 episodes long. And the last episode is movie length. Just FYI, the last episode's an hour and a half. And yeah, totally worth watching. And from here on out, we're going to talk about it, and there will be spoilers. So here we go. Okay, so Shine, everybody. 1969. A realistically portrayed 1969 in Thailand. I did do some research. The events are fictional. The events in that series are not what actually happened, but they are based on real life occurrences. And when you read some of the Thai tweets about the history, it seems as though Tanwa No, Trin. Sorry, Trin is like they think Trin is based off of several people put together, several actual historical figures put together. They feel like the student rising is from a couple of events that happened in the early 1970s. One of them ended in like massacre, if I remember right. So it's not your typical BL either. It's more of a realistic gay drama at the end of the day. Okay, let's see what people have about it in the comments from the beginning. Also, okay, he left us. That's okay. Um, because it makes sense that he since he hasn't watched it. I forgot I was watching actors as I watched Shine. That's fair. I agree about the platform. The last episodes had me in tears. I do hope they eventually put Shine on Netflix. Chas, yeah, that would. I think. I think if they did that, they would get such a huge. A lot of people would watch it because it's like something that happens in every country at some point. You know, it's not just the one country. I feel like Shine was worth getting 10 cents. Shine is easily one of the best of the year. Cericia, yes. I just think it's a different audience. Shine isn't a BL, so you don't have that side of the fandom engaging with it. That's fair. They didn't call it a BL, and the BL aspects, the fantasy sweetness, the sweet romance part, the that part it was missing a little bit. That is a very good point. Yes. It's a important story in multiple ways. Yes. Okay, so I guess we are going to have a little fun with it. I don't want it to all be super serious. So my first question to you all is: who did you kind of get into more, Trin and Tanwa, or Krylart and Naran? Those two, I feel like, were the main romance threads for the series. And honestly, for me, I found this, they're calling it the second couple, but I feel like, and like my drama list kind of has it labeled as such, but I feel like you could call this four mains and not really a secondary couple for this story. Krylart and Naran, their story was well developed enough and had enough focus on it to be considered a main story, which had the Mile and Apple fans in a bit of an uproar because they were like, "We just want a Mile and Apple series," and I'm grateful that they didn't do that because that would have been a disservice to this story, I think. But Krylart and Naran, that story was more compelling to me. I loved when they were communicating via letter in the newspaper, and then also when they were communicating via page number and paragraph number and sentence number in the books in the library, and that was their entire communication. Um, it's like really amazing. Kraylert and Naran were explosive. I couldn't see a happy ending for them, but I rewrote the ending in my head. I love that. Yeah, there was no happy ending for them in my head either. Anywhere in that plot, nowhere in that plot did I see that story ending happily. Four mains for sure. um Victor's story was well developed as well. The woman's story fascinated me. It was all amazing. Kryler explosive. Okay, the journalist and the colonel had me glued to the series. Yeah, those are the ones we're talking about, Yuritsa, right now. The ending was more true to the times, though. Absolutely. Unfortunately, um, yeah, it was true to the times. So yeah, that I was invested in all four. Could not imagine anyone not being involved. That is fair, DeLorean. I can see that those times were tough, and in many ways, we as people on Earth are still there. There's some, in some ways, yeah. Okay, so the next question is: did you have a favorite character? Um, I feel like this might actually be a challenging question to answer for most of us because everybody was talking about the couples and like loving them all. Um, so I don't know. I feel like Tanwa was really interesting. Tanwa is the character played by Mile, and he was the one who was the rock star, the singer, and yeah, like the hippie, if you will. I think he called himself a hippie in some interviews, so we're gonna go with that turn of phrase. But his story was so complex and nuanced, and like his struggle with depression and his struggle with his mother's passing and his struggle with everything really. Yeah, that was rough. So for me, it was Tanwa. Yurisa for you was Victor. And DeLorean, it was you, the wife, until she revealed how horrible she was. Right? I don't know. I kind of felt like okay, maybe she saw that as her only way of being secure, perhaps. I'm not sure. But yeah. Good night, Katie. I've got to go now. Good night. That was tough to swallow because I was really enjoying her as a character too. And when they did that with her, I was just like, why? Uh, all right. Anyway, Tanwa's arc in the last episode broke me. Yeah, his arc was heartbreakingly beautiful, right? Like that the acting in that final episode was on a whole other kind of level. I was afraid for Tanwa because I thought we were going to get bookend events for Trin, losing Claire in the front and Tanwa at the end, but instead of him it was Victor instead. Yeah. Um that's true. I was terrified that we were going to lose Krylart in the end. Once you lose one character, nobody's safe anymore in the story. You realize that every character could, pass if they end one, they could end others, right? So, um Valerie, right? Every single character had an arc, and my heart broke when Victor's mother said he made his choice and then fell apart. Absolutely. Yeah. For me, it was Krylart. I was afraid in episode 8 after he spoke his mind, after he said what he said and stood true to his convictions, that was the end for him. I was like in tears over that. I was sure that he wasn't going to make it. I mean, they found a way for that one, which I don't know if you guys felt like that was convenient or not, but I'm going to go with it because at least he was safe because of it. But yeah, how many of you were like surprised with what happened to Victor? Hi, Sugoi. Good to see you. People are coming in later. Wonderful. We're in the middle of talking about Shine, by the way. Spoiler alert. Definitely spoiler alert. How many people were surprised about Victor? Um, like shocked that they did that in one of these stories. Because I feel like in most of the stories we watch, they don't go there, right? They keep it, they play it safe. Uh, you couldn't go past episode 6 of Shine. Okay. I'm trying to remember what happened at the end of episode 6. Scared it was coming. That's fair. If she became horrible after the marriage, then that would have been one thing. But she pulled out the ring from the actor who dated Kryler, so she was selfish and trapped him. Yeah, she ended his life too, right? Or she had her brothers end his life too. But Kryler's life would likely have been miserable. That is fair. I think he found a way with his music, though, Chas. I feel like towards the end, he found a way with his music to like go on. Too much sadness. Yes, there was a lot of sadness in those last three episodes. Absolutely. I was worried for him the moment he got the news about America. Yeah, I kind of saw it coming. Victor then saw a spoiler. Expected a bit of darkness because it's not a BL. It's fair, Yuritsa. I saw the spoiler for Victor as well. And then I didn't watch it all week. I waited and I binged the last two episodes back to back. So Saturday was rough, Valerie. So I understand because Saturday was rough for me. I my partner was just like, "You look shell shocked," and I'm like, it's just that kind of blaze thing going on that happens after you've been like dealt a blow. Because I don't know about you guys, but get so involved in these stories. I get so involved that I'm like dealt sometimes, and I feel them very physically sometimes. So that was like a serious blow right there. The ending of that story was. Some people were again, probably Mile Echo fans. Some people were upset that they didn't feel like Tanwa and Trin got enough development for their love story in the final episode. What did you think about that? Not surprised about Victor. They kept saying it was not a BL, which I translated meant main character dad. That's what that translated to is for you? I just kept hearing it's not a BL because we're men and not boys anymore, so therefore man love. That's what I kept hearing. So I did not go beyond that. But that's really really interesting that that's where you went, DeLorean. Um we saw them sitting on the beach in the end, right? As old men. And the one gentleman with the wedding band on because it was 2025 and they could finally get married. Um, Also very cool. Tanwa and Trin at the end, but some people were saying that they didn't think that it was in Trin's character to walk away from Tanwa the way he did. Me too. I have a strong ability to suspend disbelief, so I often get heavily moved by shows. Okay, not the only one. This is nice to know. We can be in some of these shows together and console each other. Okay, so I don't know if it's because I suspended my disbelief enough or what, but I didn't feel the Trin's actions in the final episode went against his character. I was like, I feel like he when we didn't see a lot of when his girlfriend from France uh was gone earlier in the episodes. We knew it happened, but we didn't see a lot of it. But it wouldn't it stand to believe I now stand to believe that he must have run back to Thailand, and then so when something similar happens in Thailand, in order to kind of avoid his problems, he runs back to France again. So that's kind of what I got out of it. I didn't see it as him acting out of character. Like some people thought he should stay, like it was in his character to stay. I didn't see it that way. Trin did what he had to do to save both of them at that time. I yeah, I don't know what would have happened. And maybe they'd both have like mutually imploded if they'd stayed in the same space together. Trin and Tanwa had their own journeys and growth, significant changes in each from episode 1 and episode 8, right? I don't know if it's an age thing. Like I'm basing this on commentary I saw on X, right? So it's possible that we don't I don't know the ages of the people commenting. Is it like maybe there's a younger crowd who had a more of a romanticized feeling about all of that instead of a realistic feeling for it because they just haven't lived life enough to know that sometimes it's better to leave than to stay, which is interesting. The wife clearly threatened Kryler's family. Trin had to leave. There's that part too, right? Like him staying might have put people at danger. So I don't know if you guys ever noticed that with comments. You're like, wait, how old is the person who left that comment? I think that all the time. I'm like, child, should you be watching that? Because like anyway, any of the more butterfly related comments that are a little bit romantic and idealized, if you will. Yeah, those kinds of comments. That's right. She said she couldn't guarantee the actions of her brothers. There's that too, right? And maybe, well, I mean, this part wasn't stated, but it could be implied that he didn't want to drag Tanwa into that nonsense. It's possible. Okay, so I thought the vibe of this story was far beyond anything we typically see. The way that it was filmed was really interesting, and the coloring they used, and the fact that they sent a team to France, actually to France, um, all of the things. The production quality is really really high. Even the cameras they used. I mean, they advertised the camera at the end, so I'm assuming the camera was part of the, or maybe that particular camera you just advertise it at the end. I don't know, guys. Does anybody watch a lot of movies and notice a camera advertised at the end of the movie? Maybe that's just a thing you do with fancy cameras. I don't know, but the camera's fancy. The fact that they went to location was fancy. The casting of Sun as Kryler was huge because Sun is a like he's I don't know if there's a comparable over here in the West precisely. But he's a veteran actor who's been in so many Lacorns. It's kind of like you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like he's one of those actors, main actor in Thailand, and they managed to get him cast in this role. And then I don't know. I thought Euro as Naran and Peter as Victor were also really interesting casting choices. So I feel like they spent a lot of time and effort on that. And then the costumes were clearly very well conceived of. And the soundtrack was original. It's an original soundtrack, which is a little unusual. Normally, maybe you have, I mean, I think GMMTV does upwards of 5 songs. And I think The Next Prince has mostly an original, not mostly. The Next Prince is the other one with an original soundtrack. Um, Kemjera, I don't know. They haven't been talking about it. Maybe it has an original soundtrack, at least some of it. But the fact that the music is so well done and it appeals to international audiences, I don't know exactly why they went this way, but almost all of it is in, not almost. I'm gonna go with almost because there might be a song that's in Thai. Almost all of it's in English, which is also a really interesting choice they made. Oh, okay. That's all I've got. That's my plug for the show. If you don't subscribe to WeTV, I looked it up. Some other series you could watch with your month-long subscription, binge subscription, if you will. Just, subscribe for 1 month and binge Top Form, binge Knockout, binge if you want to watch Perfect Ten-Liners without being in parts. Each episode is complete on WeTV. You could binge what else? Okay, so those are at least 3. That's almost your whole month probably between those 4 series because you've got Shine to watch as well. So, yeah, a month of WeTV for everybody to watch Shine and other things. And we're going to do a little bit more in the comments, and then that's going to be it for this particular episode of the BL Week in Review. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, and another one more plug for me. Um, I know we're not technically calling this a BL, but I'm still thinking of making it my next BL hidden gem on Patreon, and we're going to go ahead and review and analyze it in more detail. Um, Tell me what you think about that. Can I do that? Even though it's technically not a BL? Let me know. Okay, let's see here. It looks so real, not like a film. It would have been interesting to see it on a big screen. That's true, Valerie. It would have been. Vera's death was the most surprising event in the entire show to me. Vera. Oh, yeah, he didn't do anything to anyone. I think I blocked that out of my brain, DeLorean, to be honest. The soundtrack is quite impressive. It feels so perfect for the time, and I love that it is original. There's one song in Thai. Go for it. Good idea. Okay. Well, there's two people anyways. I love it. I mean, I accept. Well, I think I've had like four people saying yes now, so I think yeah, that'll be the next BL hidden gem. So I don't know. It'll probably take a couple months to get through it all, so maybe join me on my Patreon for a couple months and I'll be analyzing each episode. I don't do a watch party. I don't watch episodes all the way through. I do a critical analysis from the perspective of a storyteller. So it's a little bit different than just like reaction videos, if that makes sense. I am fine including it as a BL. I don't like splitting hairs on the definition of BL. That is a good point. My favorite song right now from the soundtrack is Dawn, the song that Mile did. I think that song is a protest song, and he did it perfectly. He came up with the perfect protest song. It works really well, and I'm loving it. Okay, it shows up as a BL when one tries to Google it. That's good to know. All right, guys. So yeah, if you wanted to give it a try, follow me on Patreon, and I'll take a deep dive into that after I finish the Bangkok Boy, which is what I'm currently doing on there. I just analyzed episode 9 last night actually. So I guess I'm going from dark series to dark series. After that, I'm going to have to pick a fun one because there's only so much darkness you can take at the end of the day. Okay, so by the time I see you again, my magic prophecy will have ended, and that will be the focus of our next BL Week in Review. So, good night, everybody. This is definitely a highlight of my week.